Well, good morning, everyone. As you can see, Missy is planting some beans here in our bean rows. This is the last planting. Summer garden is now planted. We wait a little while to do these black beans and what was the other ones? Black-eyed peas? No, lima beans.
No, yeah, it was a butter bean.
It was a butter bean. Because we wanted to be a little bit more into the cooler side of the season when those come fully ripe, because we're going to use some of it as seed for next year. But guys, trellising is done. Everything that needs trellising has been taken care of. We got that all finished off. Look at my okra, guys. I'll tell you what, it's not a surprise that they like okra here in the South, because this is one plant that loves the heat. I mean, it just loves it, and we have always had a good experience with our okra. So super happy about that. But let me take you down here, guys, because one of the things that we are struggling with is squash bugs. Squash bugs and pests in the garden this year. And if you've been following along, you know we try to stay as organic as possible here on the homestead. So this year, like last year, we really didn't try, well, we did try not to use many chemical pesticides, if any at all, and we were successful last year. Just using diatomaceous earth to kind of control our pest issues pretty much all the way to the end of the year, when it just got too much down in our gourd section. But they are horrible here in our cucumber area, and we put diatomaceous earth out at least 4 or 5 times in an attempt to control the squash bugs, and it wasn't working. So, you know, if it comes down to no fruits and vegetables off the plants at all, or having to wash them because we use 7 dust, at this point we're going to use the 7 dust, which you can see here. I put it on here yesterday, and oh no, that's not one. And I'm not seeing any squash bugs on here at all right now, or cucumber beetles, or whatever they are called. Now, me and Missy had this conversation this morning about, is it a squash beetle? You know, what is it? And it really doesn't matter what it is. Whatever it is, it was devastating our plants, and it was tearing them up, and they need to go away. But I think that the 7 dust may actually have been doing its job, because like this plant here, if I looked in here, I would see tons and tons of bugs just lingering around, and I don't see any right now. So let's hope that that kind of got rid of them. Now down here, you can see we have these 4 rows with with ground fabric on them. We had squashes in here, and we've planted squashes at least twice, and I just planted for the third time, and we really didn't get any squash at all, because those squash beetles or cucumber beetles, whatever they are, they were coming in here and just decimating our crops. Like the other day we put out a video and Missy had just planted squashes and they were little teeny babies, and guys, they got about that big and that was it. They got killed off by the bugs. So I planted summer squash, crookneck squash, patty pan squash, and zucchini in these 2 rows. And then in an attempt to keep the garden as fruitful as we possibly can, we had these 2 rows, and I put more okra in there. I put 2 more rows of okra in there because it is a huge seller at the farmers markets. We literally cannot bring enough okra to the farmers markets to be able to sell. And then down here, it might be hard to see, guys, but we got these 2 rows that were our garlic rows, and then this one's overgrown, but there's a row here that we were kind of saving, and we were doing radishes and lettuces and stuff in that. But that season is over. So I'm going to come in here this week and I'm going to till this just to break it up and get it more smooth. And then we're gonna put our winter squash and our acorn squash and maybe some pumpkin and maybe even some turnip in here in these rows without ground cover, because with the exception of the turnip, all those gourd style plants produce big giant floral leaves which will block out the sun from these rows and keep the weeds down for the most part. But I'm gonna mulch it in as well, which will also help us quite a bit. So those are actually our fall crop. So now that those 4 rows are planted out, guys, our summer planting is over. The stuff that we expect to get for the summer is over. Like I said, these pumpkins and winter squash and acorn squash, we still have at least a couple of weeks before they need to get planted. I'm probably gonna try and get them planted before that, because I'm hoping to start the new trucking job maybe next week. So we'll be a little bit early, but hopefully that will be okay. And we plant those winter gourds later in the summer, because that way when they're really fully producing fruit, it's a little bit cooler, and the cooler temperatures also will help with our pest problems. So garden is doing fantastic, guys. We've got cucumbers, we've got okra for sure, we're picking the Chinese long noodle beans, we've got tomatoes coming in, Missy's picking peppers, banana peppers, and jalapeno peppers are coming in. Let's take a walk down there and I'll show you our peppers. So we have some smaller peppers here, but look at, even that tiny little plant is already starting to produce a pepper. And I cut some steaks yesterday for these so we can stake them up. But look at, guys, we've got jalapenos. we got jalapenos there, and over right in here on the other side of the cucumbers, we have our banana peppers, and they are really flourishing this year. So let me show you some of those. And you'll see here, guys, you see these smaller ones? And then there's bigger ones down there. We do that on purpose. That way, we kind of succession plant and get a little bit longer of a harvest throughout the year. But check it out, guys. Check out our banana peppers. They are looking fantastic. And look at, they are full of peppers all the way down. So we're actually gonna pick a few of those this morning because we are going over to visit with friends. Leave me a comment down below if you know who that is. It's long overdue for us to just go and spend some quality time together without doing filming or any YouTube stuff, just being together and hanging out. So Missy's definitely, are you excited?
Yeah.
She says, yeah, she is excited. Get a little girl time for her. Now, I went over there the other day and helped Jason out because, guys, the word friendship and the word brotherhood, while a lot of people use them very commonly, to me, they mean more than that. Like, a general acquaintance is not a friend. And sometimes a friend is not a brother. But I consider Tara and Jason both dear, dear friends. And I consider Jason a brother. And with those terms comes a level of loyalty to that person and commitment to that person that is above and beyond anything you would give to just a friend or an acquaintance. So when I saw that Jason and Tara were literally a day away from heading on another trip, and that he was having trouble with his truck, and Blue was down. Not only was Blue down, but Blue was down and not at his place. I didn't hesitate, and I went over there to see if there was anything that I could do to help them out, to get them better prepared for what they had coming. And go check out their video. I'm sure that video will be coming out on their channel very, very soon. But yeah, these things are important to us here. They're important to Missy, they're important to me. And the way you treat people has a lot to say about your personal character, and the way you value certain friendships also has a lot to do with the way your personal character is. So I take a lot of pride in saying what I mean and meaning what I say. So yeah, Jason is a brother, and Jason and Tara is a sister. Don't get me wrong. I'm not excluding her. She's no less of a friend. But like the bond between two women is a special bond, the bond between two men is a special bond as well. So they are dear, dear friends, and we're super excited to go hang out with them today. Are you excited, baby?
Yeah.
Yeah, I am too.
Time to harvest our beans.
Oh wait, check it out. She's harvesting beans, guys. Let me run over there so you can see these beans, because these beans are awesome. I actually am not a big fan of green beans, but I will actually eat these beans right off the vine. Take a look at these things. These are Chinese long noodle beans, and that's got to be 18 inches to 2 feet.
Yeah.
And they are simply delicious, guys. We love them. And look at, they're everywhere. Excuse me, guys. Missy will harvest these all year long.
I will, but these are getting kind of big, so I need to harvest them because...
Well, we can bring some to Tara and Jason, because I don't think they grow these. So
we can. I have market tomorrow, though.
Oh.
So I don't know how many I'm gonna get. This is the first row that I'm in, so...
Put them in the mini fridge. They'll hold till tomorrow.
Yeah.
So, all right, guys. So Missy has gotten those beans all planted, and I am gonna come in with the hoe here, and I'm gonna cover them up.
I already covered them.
Oh, see, guys, she already covered them. Oh, I keep putting you in the sunlight, sorry. She already covered them, so they're good to go. Yesterday I came in because you can see my grass is incredible here. Instead of trying to weed this whole area, I actually got out the weed burner and burnt it down, and I'm hoping that it'll suppress them for at least a couple of weeks so that these can sprout up, and then we will mulch in. See our other beans? We'll mulch in just like that, and that will suppress the weeds and allow our beans to really flourish and grow up these trellises. So yeah, that's where we're at. And then a lot of big stuff going on with the bunnies and the livestock, guys. Did you see the wild baby bunnies? I put a short out real quick about them. Missy found them up in her grow bucket up at the front of the homestead. That mama bunny had decided to have 2 babies down in that grow bucket. So we've been monitoring them. They are doing fine. They're growing. So mama bunny is in there quite a bit. And here's our teenager bunnies. Let's open this up for you guys so you can get a good look. Don't fall out, bunnies. Look at these guys. Aren't they awesome? Some of them you can see have a little brownness around their ears. They just have really pretty coats. Hi, baby bunny. And they're super friendly. They'll let us pet them. They're really doing well in there. I gotta get in there and do a clean out of their cage real quick. But I haven't watered them or fed them yet today. Mama bunny. Hi, mama. Mama bunny doesn't have any babies in with her. So she's a little upset about that. But she's also upset because now that summertime's coming and she's not nursing, she's on a diet. So she's probably not so happy about that. And this is her latest litter of kits. Hi, baby bunnies. And guys, we've had some problems with those babies. She actually had a litter of 6 and we're down to 3. We found one that had passed the other day in this cage. Now, this cage here, we cleaned out and sprayed out before we put them in there. But 2 of them expired in with Mama. So I'm not really sure what has caused that. Whether it was a respiratory thing. I don't necessarily think it's a heat thing, although the heat can stress a bunny and cause it to die. They're mostly gone in the morning, so it was cool at night, and we're not sure if some kind of predator was sniffing around here and maybe spooked them. But Rocco and Bailey are over there all the time, so they're used to large animals being in or around them and under their hutch. And it could just be a case where that bunny died. Like, those bunnies died. I mean, livestock passes for reasons that we as the farmers, we as the homesteaders, we just don't know. So we're gonna keep an eye on these guys and see what's going on. But I think the teenager bunnies, we're gonna do a trade with Jason and Tara. I don't know whether they want a buck or a doe, but since Bill passed, we need a new buck here on the homestead. So I think we're gonna do a trade that way, and then we'll keep one of our females, and that way we're introducing a new male genetics into our breeding program. And we're gonna see how that all works out. I mean, we plan to expand our rabbitry quite a bit. Like, just what we have here is nowhere near where we really want to be, because although we do meet birds, Missy's still harvesting, although we do meet birds and they're delicious, and the Cornish cross are the best producers of meat per pound of feed in the chicken breeds. They nowhere near compare to the amount of meat you get from a rabbit to the poundage of feed that rabbit is actually consuming. So from an economic standpoint, rabbits really are a much better choice to keep your feed bill down and get the most amount of meat that you can get. That being said, we'll always raise meat birds here, but I would like to transition more to the rabbit for our white meat protein here on the homestead. It's starting to get hot. I'm gonna go help Missy finish up. Thanks for joining us today at Homestead Happenings, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye.